All that wind this weekend. Hi. What are you going to do? The 10th TBM Avenger Reunion Air Show and Salute to Veterans is over. It's in the books, and while the strong wind this year did lead to some adjustments in the two-day program, it looked to be another success. A little behind the scenes, I had another topic in mind for this week's video, but I decided to drop by the air show Saturday morning to see if I could talk to some of the folks behind it between the events and use some of those sound bites for radio news stories. Maybe I could grab a story from a veteran or two. Well, to help as a frame of reference, actually, way too tedious to go too far into. I'm going to tell you that sometimes I use video to get audio recordings. For me, personally, it can be easier to find that sound then later when I'm putting a story together. We in the newsroom all have our own ways of doing this. Long story short, after I left the air show, it hit me as I'm driving away that this footage that I got today, for another purpose, so it looks a little different, really should be this weekend's video. So you'll see a bit of a different look today. You're also going to see 88-year-old Arthur Turnquist of Ottawa, who was a 1950s Marine stationed among sailors as he was listening in on sensitive Soviet communications. Remember, this is back during the coldest days of the Cold War in the late 1950s. Then I was able to eavesdrop, along with a lot of other people. They knew we were doing it. They saw we were in the room with them. As a World War II aviator, and some friends were sharing some memories. A quick look at the missing man formation this year. Some pretty clouds in the background, really made for a nice look at it. And then a chat with coordinators Tracy and Nikki Baer, who now are going to step aside after their fifth show. Thanks again to Kathleen Whalen of Whalen Financial at 128 Buckland in LaSalle. Arthur Turnquist from Ottawa. You went into the Marine Corps in 1956, and you were in for 3 years as an communications intelligence.
Communications technician, yeah.
Obviously, the Marines are part of the Navy. You found yourself in Japan at a Navy base, intercepting important communications at a very important time.
Yes. I was monitoring Russian traffic on the communications center. I was on a naval base right outside Tokyo. About couple thousand Navy guys and a couple hundred Marines. I was communicating top secret stuff on the.
It was a scary time to be doing that. A frightening time to be doing that.
Yes, it was.
Late 50s.
And they asked for a volunteer to go out on the submarine. And on the whole base, I'm the one that got picked.
And as a Marine,
to
go on the submarine with the sailors.
They flew me back to Hawaii to go out on the submarine, and they gave me Navy clothes to wear, and nobody on the boat knew I was a Marine.
So you sort of fit in.
Yeah.
They weren't worried about not talking in front of a Marine.
No, not at all.
But you said something about seasickness. You were the only non-sailor.
Well, when we hit a storm, all the Navy guys on the boat were carrying buckets around because they were seasick. I never got seasick, and I couldn't say, "Hey, squids, look at me, I'm a Marine, I'm not seasick."
Were you supposed to keep your cover as a sailor? They could not know you were a Marine.
The only person on the boat knew I was a Marine was the captain of the boat. I'm 88 years old.
What the hardest part was?
What's that?
If the other guy was in the turret, you had to load them canisters into that 50 caliber. Canisters of 50 caliber shells.
Right.
They weighed 35, 40 pounds.
Right.
Try doing that with damn plane flying and you standing there trying to unhook one and load another. That was pretty tough.
Something, right?
Yeah.
Jeez. Amazing.
We had, now you know that when the tail wheel up, we had a 30 caliber you slide out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't have a lot of use for it.
Right.
But now and then,
Make you feel good though,
now and
right?
then a Jab Zero would get in. I know one of them got through and shot my radio out right in front of me. He put a burst inside that sucker and fired off. I don't know, the turret gunner was shooting. Of course, by flying 6 or 18 together, you're all shooting.
Right.
More or less at the same guy.
Right.
One guy can't do nothing. It's
Right.
a group,
Right.
you know.
Right.
shooting.
Right.
And we loaded every
Crazy.
fourth round of tracers.
Yeah.
And that's like putting a water hose on
Right,
there.
right.
That helps too.
Right.
And all that stuff, it's just so long ago. I was young and
Well, it's
didn't give a
amazing.
damn care.
Yeah, right?
You gotta be.
That's why they do it, right?
You gotta be nuts to do it.
Even though the wind's been crazy, we've had a really good show, especially with the F-16 coming out of Peoria. People were just amazed to see it.
What's been the big favorite so far?
I would say the F-16.
That's what I thought.
It's super loud.
Yeah.
People are not prepared for it.
Makes
I'd
the
also-
glass rumble a little bit on the windows. Yeah.
We had the airshell team fly last night.
Yeah, Titans are retiring. This was their last flight. They will not be back. So
Yes.
someone else will be in their place next time.
This is it. So
Are you guys going to do one more show, or is this it?
this is
We're
it.
we're done. We're
So-
retiring.
Great. After today, you're just going to be spectators, and you're going to enjoy that.
That is
Exactly.
correct.
It's
Yes.
been 5 years, and it's a lot of work. But we've been getting great feedback that a lot of our volunteers don't want us to leave.
Well, the thing about it, every time you come here, there's happy people.
Right.
I mean, they're just happy.
The Navy gentleman on your golf cart for the Veterans Parade was 101.
Yes, he said that, yeah.
So he was here. We had another couple, Tom, you and I were visiting with. They just had their 60th wedding anniversary, but they are Army-Navy rivals. He was in the Army. She was a Navy nurse. So the stories out here with the veterans are just amazing. They're great people. They want to share. They really appreciate it if you say thank you for your service. But this is our last year, so
Bittersweet.
yeah,
Thank you for your service, then. How's that?
Exactly.
Thanks again to Kathleen Whalen of Whalen Financial at 128 Buckland in LaSalle for making this weekend reset possible. My friend and longtime friend and sponsor, I appreciate it. Have a good week ahead.